It's about to go down. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another incredible episode of the Carlosinspireshow. Today, my friends, we're going to have an incredible conversation with a friend of mine, former wide receiver from the Raiders, pro athlete, incredible individual, human being, father, serial entrepreneur, where we talk about struggles. One crazy thing that we have in common: both of our fathers, stepfathers actually, were murdered. And him and I had a choice to turn into crime and to do evil things. But we turned into good. Today we talk about overcoming those struggles. We're talking about success. We're talking about transitioning, in his case, from athlete to serial entrepreneur. It wasn't always easy. We're talking about the ups and downs. We made millions, we lost millions, we made it again, and we lost it again. We have quite a few things in common. And I'm very excited to have him on episode number 50. 50, baby. And it's about to go down. With no further ado, in the house, my great friend, AC Caswell, baby. What's up, AC? How you doing, brother?
Carlos, man, I'm blessed, brother. I'm pumped up, ready to go, and no one can match your energy, man. So I needed this. This is awesome.
No, man, it's a pleasure having you here, my friend. It's a pleasure having you here. And I'm going to start actually with a quote from Al Davis, which is a billionaire that I didn't have a chance to meet, but you were mentored by Al personally. And Al, so a lot of people love Al, a lot of people hate Al. Al was a character. Al had this quote that he often say: "I didn't care about being respected. I cared about being feared, being imitated, and then respect comes after that." And I was one of the most powerful forces the NFL has ever had, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And whether people love or hate the guy, but he was a character. He was a tremendous individual. How was it, AC, like being mentored by him, by around, I have a few billionaire friends that they own clubs, soccer leagues and stuff. But how was it being mentored by him? And what was one of the best advices that you ever received from Al Davis, my friend, that you could share with our audience?
Sure. Well, first of all, Carlos, I want to say thank you, man, for all that you do, brother, giving us a platform to be able to express ourselves and our visions and like you said, all the things that you said, the ups and downs, success on the field, off the field. Yeah, we need these platforms, man. So thank you for making this available to us to be able to share these amazing stories. It kind of goes back, that's a long subject, but it goes back, man, to where we talked about our personal lives, coming out of the lifestyle that we came out with powerful men in our life, powerful fathers that showed me and taught us, what it meant to be in the hustling world, right? And how to survive and how to be successful and all those things. And it just so happened that when I got into all the NFL teams, man, they gave me a shot because I was a two-star athlete in track and field. Obviously, Al Davis loved speed and also playing football. And I was from LA, South Central LA. And so all the teams that gave me a shot, man, was the Raiders, and I think that I say this all the time. I knew that I had the talent to play in the NFL, but also I knew that one team that I would be a perfect fit for was the Raiders. And not only just with football, man, but to have an opportunity to have a guy like Al Davis come into your life, man, and to invest into you and to talk to you and to tell you his stories. Like, I needed that transition from the hustling world coming into the NFL and having an owner like that, man, that can not just talk football, but to also give you a reminder like, look, hey, we're here to be number one. I'm Al Davis, and to have that, man, it was just amazing, brother.
Wow. And they see, I want to go right into something very, very personal to you and I, that, when we start getting to know each other, we noticed that we had quite a few things in common, other than making millions and losing millions, having to rebuild it. But actually, I want to talk about a tragic one, which is very personal to you and I. That some of those things, a lot of people, we go deep, but some of our audiences, they might never heard this before. And I want us to go really deep here because I know there's some listening to us may be struggling right now, may going through something difficult, and may be considering life choices. And I always tell that person, right before you pull the plug or jump, I go, I blow the whistle. I tell them, wait a minute. But on a serious note, both of our stepfathers, they were murdered. I know that you and I talked privately before about this, and we couldn't went to evil. We couldn't turn into crime and doing evil things and going after the people that killed them and to do more evil. But we decided to go into the light. I wanted to go back in time, in a timeline when you found out that happens, that man that you look up to, that person was taken from you, and what it was like going through those struggles to be where you are today.
Well, I embrace the opportunity, Carlos, to talk about the real world because that's what we come out of. And when you're a kid like me, man, growing up in South Central LA around gangs, violence, drugs, all the good, it was good things and bad things, you've been brought out of that lifestyle. I think it's right for us to give back. We have to be able to share that testimony and that story because there's thousands of young men and women that don't get out, right? And if I can be that vehicle, I'm not ashamed, I'm not embarrassed. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, the lifestyle that I came out of. So with that being said, you're right, man. I came out of a gangster lifestyle with my father and very powerful man. My goal, like any kid, any son, hey, I want to do something amazing and take my father out of that lifestyle. I think any loving son would do that for his parents. And for me, it was sports. I love sports. And I got a little bit older in high school, so I was a pretty good student athlete, college. And that opportunity really came and like, wow, I have an opportunity to make millions of dollars playing the game that I love. And most importantly, getting my mom out of the community and being able to bless my father and get him away from, that lifestyle. And it just so happened, brother, that, the day that I signed my contract with the Raiders, the LA Raiders, the day that I signed my contract, I'm not over and exaggerating this. My dad was murdered, man. So the day that I signed my contract, my dad was murdered. And I was just faced, man, with so many decisions to make and heartache and pain and suffering and confusion and being lost and, losing the man that, that you look up to and you love. I wanted to make a difference. I had to quickly figure out what road am I going to take because you and I talked about this off the record, the lifestyle that we were around. People were waiting to groom me to be the next mogul that he was. And that was a tough decision because when you grew up in that lifestyle and everybody knows you and your dad has trained you to be the next you, even though he said, I don't want you guys to live this lifestyle, that's all I knew. I was faced with those decisions. Like, do I go into this dark side of taking care of the family? Because he took care of the whole family, not just his immediate family, the siblings, the brothers, the cousins, the nieces, the nephews, blessing funeral homes with thousands of dollars that couldn't pay for funerals. And so the pressure that he took on to be that mogul, I was staring at right in the eye. And I was like, literally signed my contract at home meditating when calls are coming in from the big bosses. Okay. And I can't get into names, but the calls were coming in from all over the world like, hey, you need to carry your dad's legacy. Okay. I know you signed a contract, but we need you in this world. We need everybody love you. They know you. They respect you. We need for you to take that mantle and run with it. And we all got your back. Okay. The same support we gave him, you're going to have that. Don't worry about money. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about nothing. And that was a major decision, man. And you know the story. Obviously, we turned the other side, right? And yeah, man, that was a very crucial time in my life.
Man, incredible, man, incredible, brother. I appreciate that. And tell me something, AC. How the football industry and the business worlds are constantly evolving, right? How do you stay ahead of the trends to ensure that your ventures remain relevant and competitive? As you and I were talking the other day in Vegas in the Alumni Week, how everybody's competing for attention, right? And how do you stay ahead with the trends and to ensure that your ventures remain relevant and competitive, my brother? Because I know you are very competitive like myself, and I love to hear from athletes, their points of view and entrepreneurship to make sure that we are constantly, ahead of the trends and staying competitive in these very competitive markets.
That's a great question. And one of the things I can truly tell you, I believe that every athlete from a kid, men and women, young boys and girls playing sports, you really learn something, man. You really learn a training that I think you can't get from school, college, anything else. You just learn, man, that competitive side of you. You learn a lot of ups and downs. You learn a lot of wins and losses, trials and tribulations, and you have to overcome those things. So I always say that shame on athletes, especially professional athletes, who doesn't take something from those experience and being able to transition into the real world, as we call it, right? Whether it's the husband, father, businessman, whatever it may be, we have something as athletes that we were trained and taught to overcome, to fight, to compete, that should be able to make that transition. Now, it takes a good team of people around you, don't get me wrong, right? And for me, I looked at Al Davis as so much of a mentor that taught me more than just football. Like, he gave me a real example of what it means to be an owner, a minority owner, competitor, fighter. You can do anything. You compete to win, commitment to excellence, just win, baby. All these things from marketing and branding. He developed something in me, man, to where I knew that, hey, if football doesn't work out or I'm one injury away, which obviously over 10 surgeries over my career, I was always one injury away, right? So I knew that making that transition to be relevant, like, I don't want to just be labeled as, hey, that's, I say this, the cheetah. That was my nickname in the football. I was original cheetah. Okay. I didn't want to just be recognized just as the athlete. I wanted to say, how do I make myself relevant? How do I become a brand? And that's what Al taught us, that you guys are a brand. Like, market yourself, right? Be bigger than just football. So what I wanted to do was start that early process of becoming an entrepreneur, using the gift that I have, but also listen to Al that, man, I can become a visionary. I can become an innovator. Like, I can be doing something to be number one. So I started that process to make sure that on and off the field, you're going to know who AC Caswell is in a respectful, humble way. And that's where we're at today, man, is creating these businesses, creating brands, making sure that people know that your name is behind the brand, even though it's not about boasting or bragging, but you want people to see that transition of who you are and what you're doing successfully.
Yes, I love that. But I love that. What an incredible answer. And, AC, I love innovating and doing crazy stuff, all over social media. And, but because innovation, it plays a significant role in entrepreneurship. Just like since COVID happened, you know that I've been teaching a lot of soccer players and now athletes in football about money and mindset and taking things to the next level by separating ourselves from the Wall Street, right? From their world, and stop charging the 10 grand an hour and literally just helping others. Give somebody a win here. Let me show you how to make some money and don't pay me anything. And then you tell me how much am I worth, right? And that's how I build my brand in the speaking world, in the financial space. And when we were talking, something attracted me to connect with you, which is how you did something with innovation in the nonprofit space, adapting. So I wanted you to think about this, how innovation plays a significant role in entrepreneurship, much like adapting to new strategies in football. So can you share like an example, how you embraced innovation to drive success, such as what you are doing in the nonprofit space with the $1 Million Mingo experience?
Yeah. Well, man, charity always been dear to my heart, obviously, because, part of my story, Carlos, is that growing up in South Central LA, if it wasn't for those nonprofits that took us in off the street and signed us up for sports and taught us and fed us and clothed us and did all those amazing things. So I got an early start on giving back. That's part of my DNA. Anybody that knows me know that I'm here to help raise money. But things start changing as I got a little bit more competitive, and being a Raider, man, like it just changed my life, man. And being around Al, and I was like, okay, I've traveled all over the world for charity events, and I've been to the top celebrity charity functions that money can buy. And, I was like, man, we're missing something. It's not Hollywood enough. It's not red carpet enough. What's missing? And so just through the innovation, when I start believing that, man, I can be a big visionary, and no one can stop me, and having that spirit of Al in me and having that spirit of my father in me, man, to do things big and bold. And I said, you know what? Let's tap into this nonprofit sector, but let's do it a little bit differently, right? I remember Al used to tell me, man, about the Raiders, like, hey, yeah, I know we're losing, but we're entertaining. People from all over the world come to a Raider game. Every brand is a Raider fan. I mean, he just showed me how to win on and off the field. And I said, well, how do I take nonprofit and start doing high profile luxury events? So we came up with the name in 2006, the $1 Million Mingle. People didn't know what it is. They're like, I want to come. I'm like, you don't even know what it is. So it became our #1 private invite only VIP luxury event. And my goal that I said is, why not have fun raising money having a luxury time doing it? So why not raise money having a luxury time doing it? And that's what we do through the $1 Million Mingle. We put on high profile celebrity charity events, private invite only events. We raise millions of dollars for charity, amazing celebrities, athletes, corporate America, influencers. I mean, everybody comes to these events to be able to raise money, network, build new relationships. So that was a vehicle, Carlos, that we were able to do. And people from all over the world, man, has been coming to attending this thing. Like, man, I got to experience the $1 Million Mingle. And this is a charity event, right? But that's the drive that we wanted to market, is that our goal is the name $1 Million Mingle means we never raise anything less than $1 million. So you can imagine how much innovation and creativity my team has to be, so it's been awesome.
Since COVID, where so many organizations, churches and nonprofits are hurting. And that's what I love about you, because you told me, Carlos, I'm going after the ones that nobody know, the little guy. Give the little guy a chance. And you know me and my story, I always love to give the little guy a chance. I recruited many people out of prison back in the day, and I would help them go door to door and business to business. And when I was in the telecom space, helped companies like Comcast do over $1 billion in revenue and sales. So, because why? The creativity. We will go to the block, we will go to the hood and the barrios where people were not afraid to go. Because as you and I know, so much talent in the barrio, so much people, they are hungry, and we can never forget where we come from. And that's why I really liked it. I love when you told me that. I was like, this is somebody that I would love to support, interview on my show, collaborate. I'm coming to your event in November. Highly recommend, guys. You guys coming. My company, we're sponsoring a large sponsorship into his event. And I'm inviting all my friends to come over. And I'm looking forward. Really looking forward. And they say a question that I often love asking every influencer that come on my show is, when did you know that you became AC Caswell, the cheetah?
Man. Well, that's a great question, man. That is a nice, great question. Too many people haven't asked me that, Carlos. So I like that, brother.
Hell yeah.
From the cheetah side, we'll just use the nickname. That's funny. That's a funny story. So as a little kid growing up in LA, all we did was run. We ran around the block, around the neighborhood, just run. And my mom said, man, you're such a little cheetah, so that's where the cheetah came in. And I actually have cheetah prints, like little on the side of my hips. I was born with these little prints, man. And my mom said, you're the cheetah, little cheetah. So from that perspective, from the athletic side, that's where that came in. But then really, man, when I got into high school, I never said this story, but I'm going to go ahead and share it, man. So we're going to be real. So my mom named me in South. I truly believe this. I believe that I was the only kid in LA, South Central LA, and my first name was Arthur. I had the whitest name that a black kid can have. So I fought so many kids in LA that was teasing me, Arthur, and I hated that name, right? And I said, well, Mom, why would you name me that name, Arthur? You could have named me Andre, Antonio, Arturo, right? But Arthur. So when I got in high school, brother, I started seeing my talent came along. I changed my name to AC. Didn't really know the marketing behind it. I just knew that I hated that name. I wanted a shorter name. Took the cheetah, made it, the C and blah, blah, blah. And then when I got into junior college, man, I started developing this alter ego, like AC, the Caswell, the cheetah. And I started realizing, like, wow, man, this can be something special, right? I got to start putting it together, and working towards, living up to that name. And it just so happened, man, that, I kicked it into gear, started, really doing some amazing things as a student athlete, and kind of getting my name AC out there, signing autographs, and, now just like AC. And my family's like, well, who is AC? I know him by his nickname and this and this and that. And And so, yeah, man, I think coming into to junior college, that's where the AC just really, really came alive, man. It was like, all right, AC is here. Let's go.
I love it. I love it. That's why I love, play. Not, like I was telling, I never give my questions to my guests. I always go with the flow. That's incredible. And see, tell me something. You know how in football is like a game of strategy and adaptation. How did you copy some of your strategic thinking skills from your sports background to stay ahead of this ever evolving landscape of business?
Sure. Well, I believe this, man. Just like football, you have to have a great spirit in you. You got to believe. I mean, to be a professional athlete, it's no joke. Mentally, emotionally, physically. Even when people tell you, man, you can't make it or you don't have a shot, and football is so much mental, man. It's a beast. And I knew that if I can get to that hurdle as a professional athlete with all the things we deal with, man, mentally, physically, emotionally, I should be able to make that transition into the corporate America world with a spirit of greatness. And I believe just like football, yes, I had to go to a different route to get to the NFL, but I still believe that I have the spirit of greatness in me to play that game and compete with anyone on that level, given the opportunity. Same with business in corporate America. I want to be great. I want to be successful. I don't build companies to lose. I don't build companies to take second place. I don't build companies to be like somebody else. I build visions and companies to be number one. That's what I built this for. And I built this with a spirit of greatness. So making that transition into the business world, I knew that if I can incorporate that in me and translate it to the business world, we're going to be unstoppable. Yeah. We're here to take those same tangibles. Hey, it's tough. It's hard. You still got to fight. Still got trials, tribulations you got to overcome. You got naysayers, you got haters, you got doubters, you got non-believers. But you know what? They can't take away our vision and our greatness to be successful. It takes a team. Hey, it still takes a team in corporate America. Can't do it by myself. Am I the visionary? Of course I am. But also, I'm wise enough to know that I have a team around me to make sure, guys, let's be successful. And if we do that and show them the formula, especially with me with athletes, I took that risk and say, guys, hey, athletes, we're somebody important. Corporate America still loves us. They want to support us. They want to golf with us. They want to network with us. They want to talk to us. Let's give them that vehicle who we are and show them that we can be successful on and off the field. So, that's what motivates me to do this. It's not just for me. It's also to show these other athletes, hey, man, we got the same greatness as well in corporate America. Why not utilize it?
Yes. No, I love that. And I love that so much. I'm actually about to do something over here right now, off the record, that you and I didn't even talk about it, which is you guys are watching us. And some of you guys that know me personally, I'm big in doing things. Some of my friends even done some of those things with me. What are we all doing as society, right? That is above and beyond the tax bracket. What are we doing? Like, because you and I, you're always raising the bar. We're always challenging others. What we are doing when it's between us and God, when nobody's watching. And I do a lot of things in Brazil and even in America with my daughter when we are traveling, whether we are hunting for waterfalls in between my speaking events, and we go to the parking lots and we're looking for people working. We ask how much they make, and we give them 1, 2, 3 days worth of their whatever they make, right? But how can we do even more? And since we have an incredible experience coming up in November, here's what I was thinking. You guys are watching us. If you know businesses and brands, they are looking to get more exposure. I'm going to be there. AC is going to be there. A lot of our friends, billionaires, millionaires, athletes, major brands, that they sponsor this event. If you guys look up AC at the MDM experience, you see some of the brands, that come to his events like Bang and many other brands that you guys see there. I heard that major brands like Bentley and other brands been to some of your events. So you guys can imagine the caliber of the people that arrives. So I'm going to issue a little challenge for you guys watching us. And here's the challenge. If you refer a business, whether they can either DM AC or myself, MDM Experience, and we're going to do, if that person donate a minimum of 10,000 sponsorship packages into the experience. Remember, all the money is going to be going towards smaller nonprofits that nobody knows about. So if you are the one that refer us that person, or if you are the one that doing it, we're going to do something special for you. Even if you are struggling, if you don't have any money, but you refer the person who did a minimum $10,000 donation, AC and I are going to give you 2 tickets, VIP tickets, to come and join us. And this is, I literally came up with this right now because I'm about to reward people for doing great things. And you guys know how much I love nonprofits and helping the ones that nobody knows about. All the big nonprofits, they don't need any more money, right? The little guys. Maybe you have a nonprofit. Maybe you are passionate, right? And you want to get your nonprofit around people. Being in AC's world, being in my world, because in life it's all about proximity. That's why you always see AC and I, we are surrounded by incredible people, right? Celebrities and athletes and world leaders, presidents, you name it. A lot of great people that comes to this event. So I just wanted to throw that in there, something that we're totally off the cuff. And they see, how I like to keep the shows within 30 to 40 minutes. As we coming towards the end, I got a few more questions over here for you, my friend. As a dad, how would you advise? I have a lot of dads that follow me, and as a father, as a dad, how would you advise others balancing family life while still pursuing a career in athletics or entrepreneurship?
Yeah, that's a great question, and once again, I think coming out of our type of background, for me, my kids, man, that means the world to me as a father. And I say that because, not having that biological father in my life, man, I wanted that, and I was blessed to have a great stepfather that raised me since I was like probably 1 year old. That's all I knew, right? But I knew how important family is, man. I mean, family, your kids and your family, and being a father, man, I take honor in that. I take pride in that, to know, man, that you can be there for your kids and show them the right and the wrong, right? Because that's what a fatherhood is. It's not perfect. But I think when you show your kids with the right love, love and passion and the right grit and honor, man, that this is what it takes in life to be successful, and you got to fight through some things. So anybody that's out there, man, trying to figure out, you don't have to give up one. Like, I didn't have to put my kids aside. When I got into the NFL, my youngest son at the time, he was when I made it to the NFL, he was like 2 years old. I didn't have to trade that off. Like, I didn't have to be stuck in like, oh man, I can't pursue my careers as an entrepreneur, as a professional athlete because I have kids. Yes, you have to balance your life. Yes, things are going to change. Yes, you got to work harder. Yes, you got to, strategize and be more structured and more organized and have a true schedule. But that's what it's about. It's about doing those things for your children's children. That's what life is about. Planting those seeds and showing them that, hey guys, like some of my kids, they don't know, they don't remember me playing football. I have 5 kids. I was blessed. Okay. 3 of my kids kind of know that, hey, dad was balling. But my other kids are like, hey, I know dad's success after football. What is he showing us every day? Because he can't go back on the field. So what am I showing them that next phase of life, that guys, this is success too. I have to show you that. Just like I can show you success in sports, I also got to show you what life looks like in the real world after sports, because that's what we're here as fathers to do. So, yeah.
Well, I love that. I often say that money is mindset, right? Like, I have taught so many people around the world how to make, a shitload of money. Excuse my friends. As you and I know, we've been talking money. We got some great things that we're going to be doing with the alumni and the players. And but I often say, it's not hard to make money or to achieve success. The hardest part is to maintaining, right?
Yes.
It's to maintain, because that will show your character. And a lot of people can judge us by how our kids are, right? I always say, you judge a parent, and you and I are, we got some great advice about being great dads, something that we are both proud about. Yeah. And shifting into, a lot of athletes that follow us and look up to us. In your case, in football, it means soccer and a few other sports that I love, mentoring and talking to athletes. How did you stay motivated, AC, to stay on that road of being successful? And what advice would you give to aspiring athletes today?
And because we also, Carlos, we're blessed to own our own sports agency. So we live this every day, like with athletes, men and women athletes, mentally, physically training them, teaching them on how to become a brand, how to be a product, how to fight for those opportunities. So we live this every day. I might be done, retired as an athlete, but not as living it, still living the walk with athletes through our sports agency. And like I tell them, first of all, just number one, you got to believe that you deserve the same great opportunity. You have to believe that. And once you believe that and you put a passion behind that, I tell everybody, I won't sign you as a client. I won't train you if you don't develop a passion for what you're doing, because the passion is what it's going to take to get you over the hump. And if you got to have that passion, man, to be great, straight up, because I can't teach you anything less than not how to be great. That's what we're here for, is to use our expertise to say, guys, if you want to get to the next level as an athlete, as an entrepreneur, we have to teach you how to become great. Okay. And that's what we do right now, brother, with these athletes, mentally working on their psychic, letting them know, guys, you got to be strong physically, nutrition, training. Like, this is a job. Like, I don't go to practice, I go to work. Like, this is my livelihood. And you have to have that same mindset, that same regimen. And then you got to look and say, how am I going to be better than the next guy next to me? I don't care if he wore the same helmet that I got on. I don't care if he got the same team logo. I got to be better than him. I got to train to be better than him every day, because that's what gives me job security. So we just teaching them the cycle of, guys, you got the same opportunity, but it's a job. You got to work at it. This don't come easy. In my world as an athlete, I can't fill out an application to go play for the Giants. I can't fill out an application to go play for the Dallas Cowboys. It doesn't work that way. So you got to prepare yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally to take these steps to be there, to get to that level.
Wow. I love it. I love that question. I hope you all young athletes and aspiring athletes are listening and rewinding and sharing this podcast with somebody. You know, you guys can all go to carlosinspire.com, watch this replay if you are not here live with us. And they see, that's the saddest part of my shows when it comes to the final question of the day. And this question, it's one that I ask every guest that comes here. And I wanted to think about the impact that you wanted to live in the world, AC. And then now I wanted to fast forward. You and I are similar age, so we are 117 years old. and it's your eulogy, and your best friend is about to read it, and that's
right.
Many people there. I am there smoking a cigar, listening to ACDC. Are you there, ACDC?
Yeah,
you know, those about to rock, we salute you. And now we're gonna be saluting you there, my friend, as you transition from this world to the next, or whatever our followers here believe. Mm-hmm. And your best friend is going to read that book, that eulogy book, and he's going to say, AC Caswell was a tremendous athlete, father, visionaire, ... Who was AC Caswell in your own words?
Well, that's so deep, man. That's so freaking deep and powerful, but I love it. And, you know, man, because we all think that, right? Like, hey, what someone's going to say about me, right? And the one thing, man, that I always tell my kids, my family, people that know me, that I always speak about my heart, okay? Because physically, you can't take nothing with you. You can't take not one thing with you but your spirit and your soul. And I tell people all the time, I was here to be a testimony, straight up. I shouldn't have made it. I shouldn't have had the opportunity. The cards was against me. All the cliches that you can say. I am a living testimony, brother, that you can be successful in life, in the game of life, okay? And I want people to know that I always gave that back. I always gave that positive energy, that you can do it. You have the same spirit of greatness. Let nothing take you back. Even if you gotta, lower yourself to pick somebody up, to know that they can make it. That's what this is about, brother. I am that role model. I take honor in that. So I want people to always know that, hey, AC had your back, okay? And I'm always going to have your back. And anything I can do, brother, to plant that seed, like the seed was planted on me, then we're going to make it. Loving, caring, giving back. Always make sure, brother, that, when, like I always say this, people that know me, when you bless others, the blessings will come back to you. Okay. I say that all the time. Bless others and the blessing will come back to you. That's who I am.
Amen, man. Amen. I love that. The testimony. Often when I am on stage, traveling around the world, doing keynotes for companies, I always tell the employees, whether I'm talking to a sales team, I always tell them, you must go through the test before you get the testimonial, baby. Say it again, brother Carlos. You gotta go through the test before to go
That's,
to the testimonial. That's real talk right there, brother.
that's
Because
what it's about.
and I love that about you, man. You know, the little time that we got to know each other and over this past couple of months, it's like I always tell people, man, and that's what life is about. Like the same way how we are here on camera, we are off camera when we were hanging out with the alumni in Vegas last week, when we are with our children, when we are in the park,
Absolutely.
when we are at the stage, at the events, at the nonprofit world. And I love that about you, my friend. It was such an honor, AC, having you here. I mean, guys, just what can we say, man? All that I can say, I mean, man, any last words, AC? I want you guys to follow AC. I've been putting over here the ticker for you guys watching us live. For you guys listening to us, I have things going over here on the screen to follow AC on Instagram at AC19 Caswell, Caswell. I also want you guys to check it out. If you guys want to learn more about AC, all the great things that he does. You know, his train of thought of finding these nonprofits that nobody knows nothing about and bringing them to an arena. We're going to be at this incredible 5 days polo event, all kinds of experiences. I'm not going to ruin the surprises, but you want to be in November with us. If you can, this November, AC do this once a year. We've been talking about doing a lot of incredible things together, you know, around Super Bowl as well, and Formula One, and many events that AC and I have connections throughout US, Dubai, and throughout the world. And but AC, any final words, my friend, for our listeners?
Brother, you better get here to Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm telling you, man, people from all over, and it can be at every level, okay? Get your ticket. Remember we talked about this? Just get a ticket to get in the game. Okay, it can be a $50 ticket, don't matter, but you don't want to miss, because what you're walking into, you can't solicit this. You can't go door knocking these type of relationships that's going to be here in Scottsdale, Arizona, from all over the world, every level. Those who are and want to be inspired, who want to network, who want to learn and feel what success feels like, look like, act like, talk like, you need to be here in Scottsdale, Arizona. Go to mdmexperience.com. We got hotel rooms available, discounted tickets available, for just to give people an opportunity to experience the experience. So Carlos, we thank you, man, for like you said, we are the big brother. Okay, $1 Million Mingo is the big brother to all the smaller nonprofits, and that's why we created a tagline: we fight for life causes. We got our eyes and ears open, man, for those brands that need help. So get out here, network with the people like Carlos that you want to know. Hey, you might not get to Carlos every day. You might not get to me every day for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. But guess what? You all can catch us. Okay, I'm going to pull a hamstring so you can catch up to me. Okay, I'm not going to run away from you. We're here in the flesh. Join us, man. It's going to be powerful. It's going to be, he's our keynote speaker. Y'all don't want to miss this brother speaking in Scottsdale, Arizona as our keynote speaker. Come out and get involved, man. We would love your support.
I was reading the Bible the other day, you know, asking God to already start guiding me on what to say. And I have some pretty cool topic that we're going to talk about, and we're going to go deep on that stage. Some people might get a tear or two, and but we're going to shake up some demons. We're going to empower some lives. We're going to bless the nonprofits that nobody knows. And guys, all I can say, this was an incredible show. A lot of the things over here, like, you know, you guys saw what I said earlier. If you, we're going to be giving away some VIP tickets. Like AC and I, we're going to be there 5 days in Arizona, in Scottsdale. You're going to have, you know, stop by, you know, and ask us any, like, picking our brain. Life is all about proximity. You guys been following me for 20 years, and you guys know me. That's how I build my speaking brand. I would just got in proximity with incredible people. You know, whether it was Tom Bellew, shout out to my brother Tom, Sharks of the World, all the legends. Those two over here is actually are from your neighbors. Sharon Lecter, big hug, and shout out to my sister. She's right there also in Arizona. My good friend Frank Shankwitz, rest in peace, my brother. I know you're smiling heaven, you know, but again, all these incredible people, right? It's because we are servant leaders. And that's what it's about. I'll leave you guys with the saying that you guys always know that I talk about. Life is all about the mission, never the commission. And if you guys are going through something difficult, my friends, and if you're feeling pulling that trigger, give up on your family, do something crazy, always know that somebody has something worse, and that the days that breaks us are truly the days that makes. Much love. God bless you all. Appreciate you, AC. You guys have a blessed week, everyone. I'll see you guys in Scottsdale in November. Have a good one. Bye-bye.